Alright, now we're going to look at multiplying, which I know we looked at multiplying in the previous section, but this is where you're going to have a binomial times a binomial, two terms times two terms. So this is actually going to go back to your FOIL method, same thing that you have done numerous times in the past. So starting with your 2, and we will multiply that times each of the terms. So 2 times 1 is going to give me 2. Now when I do the 2 times the 3 square root 7, that's going to give me 6 square root 7. So any whole number I have, it gets multiplied times the value that you have in front of your radical. Alright, so now I need to take the square root 7 and multiply it. So, of course, square root 7 times 1 is just going to be square root 7. Of course, you can put the 1 in front. It would be understood. That's where it would be. And now when I do the square root 7 times the 3 square root 7, so I'm going to have 3 square root 49. Okay, so going back to multiplying radicals that we had done in the previous lesson, you multiply the numbers you have underneath. So square root 7 times square root 7 is going to give us square root 49. Okay, couple things we got to do here to simplify. You can combine these two together. We've just finished talking about how to add, and so the numbers that I have underneath are the same. So I add what I have in front, so the 6 and the 1. So that's going to give me a 7 square root 7. Now here I have 3 times square root 49, but square root 49, remember, is just 7. It just simplifies to be 7. So that means you're going to do 3 times the 7. So I have 2 plus 7 square root 7 plus 21 when I do the 3 times the 7. And then you'll be able to combine the 2 and the 21. So that's going to give me 23 plus 7 square root 7. This is my final answer. Okay, next one. Now, you're actually going to do the same thing. It's just this one being to the second power, remember, means that you have 2 of these. So let's just write it down twice. You have 2 of exactly the same thing. And now you're just going to use your FOIL method again. Alright, so you start with 2 square root 5 times 2 square root 5. So the 2 times 2 is 4. Square root 5 times square root 5 is square root 25. Now do the 2 square root 5 times the 3 square root 2. So the 2 times the 3 is 6. The square root 5 times the square root 2 is square root 10. Okay, so now do the next 2 steps. That would be this times this, and this times this. Okay, so when we do 3 square root 2 times 2 square root 5, so multiplying what I have in the front, I get a 6. Multiplying what I have underneath, I get a 10. Okay, now 3 square root 2 times 3 square root 2. So the 3 times the 3 is 9. Square root 2 times square root 2 is square root 4. Alright, you do need to simplify each of these radicals. They are perfect squares. So this would just be the same thing as 5. So 4 times 5. You can combine these two. Remember, we've just learned how to add those. So that'll give me 12 square root 10. And then here I'm going to have 9 times 2. Square root of 4 is 2. So this is 20. This is 18. And now I can add the 20 and the 18. So I'll have 38 plus 12 square root 10.